Alright folks, people are asking for a tour of the workshop here once we hit 20,000 subscribers. Now at 20,000, so I will oblige you and give you a little tour of the workshop. To be honest, not much to see. Mainly parts in here, nothing exciting. Middle of the floor, all machines in the process of being fixed. Spare parts are needed. Spare parts are on order. That's generally where they sit when they're waiting for the parts to come in. Fast tool there, and Makita saw. Good few Hitachi stuff on here at the minute, because big problems getting Hitachi parts. Nothing's coming out of England basically. That's gone on months now. So a few Hitachis there, can't get anything for. Everything else, a few Makitas, a few DeWalts, a few Bosch. Not much exciting there. And here, mainly spare parts. Up above the computer here, there's service kits for Bosch, hammers, different models, new and old. Top shelves over here, all up top, they're all Makita parts, mainly fields, armatures, things like that there. Some DC motors, hammer pipes, bits and pieces like that, mainly fields and armatures up there. Red boxes, more service kits for Bosch hammers. They're the most common ones. This is another workbench, but it's not really used, mainly just used as storage. Random spare parts underneath in them red boxes. Few Bosch parts still, but they're mainly all Makita ones. Completely random, bits and pieces. Not much to be seen. More spare parts, assorted spare parts. Every box underneath the benches is all spare parts. One of the most important tools in the shop, bearing press. More storage for spare parts. Wee bits of everything here. A couple of random hammer parts, in the Makita ones. Mixing drill parts up the top, switches and that. Old Ryobi parts, armatures and fields. No longer available anymore. Can't be got. They're just there in case they're ever needed now. Hitachi above that. Again, old spare parts. Old stock, and then DeWalt at the very top. Very little of them. As for the rest, these are all the Bosch spare parts, all old stock, all around here in these first two shelves. Some are new ones with the whiter labels, and newer ones on. All the faded yellow ones are all older stock. Give an example. Motors, armatures for the old GSH 10C 240 volt. That's about 25-30 years old. Lying there a long time. Most of them parts probably never be used now. Up the very top is Makita. All Makita parts, armatures and fields. They're all about probably 30 years old, if not more. They'll never be used. Far too old now. Other bits and pieces hanging on the shelves, Bosch switches. All these bags are all Bosch O-rings. All the way along. All these storage boxes, probably the ones that used the most. Very bottom, they're all bearings. And on the next row then, these are all Makita brushes. The whole way across. More bearings and Makita switches on the third row and the fourth row. All Makita switches and a few random ones, apart from the very end ones here, are all Hitachi brushes. Random then electrical connections, spade connectors, crumps, buslit farrels, insulated, non-insulated, crumps. And then all these three rows here from here back, they're all Bosch brushes. All the different types of Bosch ones. Underneath, batteries and chargers for tools that come in. They're just chargers are for charging these batteries only, or testing customers' batteries. All the batteries are here to run machines here in the workshop for testing. More parts in there, mainly some tools though. Another most important machine, parts washer. Can't do without. Kind of tidy to be quite honest, not too bad looking. More old stock. That's all magnetic drill parts, some Evolution parts, some old Panasonic and Milwaukee ones up there. AEG, the really old stuff. Everything else in here then. A couple of different sprays and cleaners, whatnot. More boxes of spare parts up there. Mainly in here is all spare parts, to be quite honest. And the trick is learning where everything friggin' is. Broken machines underneath there, a couple of electronic bits. All these boxes are all storage of spare parts. These will be used quite often. Different grinders, Makita parts, individual 3 box of DeWalt parts, 1 box. That's all the Milwaukee parts we keep. That's it. Don't stock anything really. A couple of boxes for pass loads and that. That's where they'll all be kept. All these small pieces. And again, over this side, more spare parts. These will be more used quite often as well. Mainly Makita and Bosch, and a few random ones in like Ryobi. Likes of Bosch hammers and Makita hammers, Bosch grinders, all that sort of stuff. ED450, the old Ryobi machine hammer. And there's Ryobi spare parts there as well. That'll be all the old stock blue Ryobi, none of this yellow stuff. You don't get parts for yellow Ryobi anymore. Everything here, it'll be all quite modern stocks, it would, apart from a couple of random ones. But of old stock, but likes of that there. GBH24. That's the old NiCad 24 volt Bosch drill. All the spare parts for that. Don't be used very much anymore now. But yeah, plenty of spare parts on here. Even just down to a Bosch grinder, 4.5-inch grinders. All the wee bits and pieces for them to keep them going. Try not to stock more than what's needed now, because you can see there's a lot of stock on here. Try to not take on as much anymore now. It's just myself in the workshop, so sort of know what needs to come on and what doesn't. Anything that's not needed for stock, especially if suppliers don't supply it, I don't stock it anymore now. That's just a box of random broken motors for scrapping. But yeah, that's the workshop. That's everything in it. All its glory and complete mess. Actually give it a wee tidy up as well before I started this video. But yeah, that's her. That's where I am every day here in Donegal Fixings, repairing machines. Maybe some other day I'll actually do a tour of the hardware shop as well, because this is just a workshop and a hardware shop. So Donegal Fixings will be doing all the... It's not fixings as in machine fixings, it's actually fixings as in fixtures and fixings. Doors, hinges, bolts, nuts, all that type of stuff. Anything for fixing, anything to anything, Donegal Fixing Supplies. So I might give you a tour of the actual whole shop someday. But for now, that's the workshop. Hope that satisfied your curiosity.